Hey there, welcome back to another episode of The Awakening Trail. Today's episode is truly monumental. Our guest's depth of knowledge in spirituality and yoga is on another level. In this episode, we talk about everything from daily discipline, spiritual depth, pranayama, kundalini, and the irreplaceable role of a teacher on the yogic journey. It's one of the most moving and insightful conversations I have had on this podcast so far, and I can't wait for you to experience it. So let's settle in, take a breath, and welcome Acharya Prashant ji. Hello, listeners. So, today we have an honor of sitting down with Acharya Prashant ji, who is a renowned yogi, teacher, and founder of the Yoga Vidya School in Rishikesh. It's my pleasure, Prashant ji, to have you here on the Awakening Trail, and I would like to welcome you with saying
Thank
namaste.
you. Thank you, the Awakening Trail, to for inviting me in this uh, call and recording so that we can maybe share something, if whatever I can, whatever study I have. So it's an honor to be here, to be part of this journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. And I think I'll begin with the first question, right? Why don't we begin with
So
the
sure.
very beginning? How did your journey uh, into yoga begin? Was there a particular
So
moment or an influence, that drew you deeply into this path, Prashant?
yeah, as everyone, everyone has certain influence in spiritual journey. So same, it was with me. It was with me not very sudden because born in Brahmin family. So since childhood, we, uh, in everyday rituals, we are part of the rituals. The family said they are priests in temple. So the spirituality was in the blood from the childhood. And then the second, because I born in Rishikesh, and that's already the place of yoga.
Yeah,
It's a world capital. So
yes.
it was not a sudden, but yes, it was in the air. And then I used to visit many ashrams because of the prayers and everything. And that's how I started joining some of the classes in Shivananda ashram. Because in Rishikesh, we have
Yeah,
the main place of Shivananda. So
yes.
I used to go and study, and that's how it went, till now. I'm still in the process.
Lovely. So you always studied yoga, or you, did any other stream, like in terms of your studies, or you always studied yoga since a kid?
No, 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 no. I have a bachelor in biology, by the way. And
Oh,
then, yes, I did my graduation in biology in the same Rishikesh University. It's a state university. And but because I was, since the early age, I was more inclined to rituals and prayers, and it was a part. So I used to study at the same time when I was studying my academic studies. Same time I used to study in ashram, Upanishads.
mm-hmm.
So it was, together, parallel. I was doing my academic and same time when I was in college, not in school. So, and then I used to go to Kailash Ashram there, very famous, older than Shivananda Ashram, where they teach Vedanta and Upanishads, all the scriptures in yoga and other scriptures too. So together, I used to carry this both subject, my academic and this. And then after finishing my biology, then I decided to, go to this because I had to do some master after that to go further. Then I chose the yogic path. But the study of yoga was before I joined the college. In
Yeah.
ashram already it was started. So that's how it went, and I continued doing it. Then I went to Sivananda ashram. I studied for almost 2 to 3 years there. There used to be, I was inspired by one of the teacher, Swami, and he was more than 80 years old. He used to teach us, and it was used to be free. So I was good in sport. I used to run and everything, and that's how it, started. I was enjoying it, and then because of the previous samskaras, prarabdha, I could understand the essence of these asana practice, though it was a physical, but because the way he used to explain, it was very clear that it's not just a physical workout. So, and that's how I went in and then studied in Kailash Ashram for 3 years, all the Upanishads, and then university, and then continue, and now still it's going on. That's how it started.
Yeah, you mentioned a very important point, and it comes across, when I happen to speak to, personalities like you. You mentioned that previous sanskaras. So I'm assuming that
Yeah,
you're referring to the past lives, and I think because of that, you got birth in Rishikesh,
yeah, of
and then
course, of course. Yeah, no doubt.
right. So you studied biology, right? Did
Yes.
that those studies help you any way
Oh,
in
very much. Yes, very much. Actually, I supposed to go to medical part because I cleared also because many of my friends now, some of them are government doctors, some Ayurvedic. So I study biology. That helped a lot because when we come to yoga teaching part, we teach first asana only, and that's what you see around the world. Mostly, it's about asana. Even the pranayama is about the breathing work. Even the mind, it's all meditation, mental. So to work with these practices, which are given in yoga, you need to know a little bit about the body. So the information what I gathered in my academic study in biology helped a lot because I could understand the effect of these practices in physical level, and then I could even explain better. Because if you have understanding of anatomy of the body, and when you do certain physical workout in yoga we have exercise, physical exercise name called asana. Then we have a breathing, which is pranayama. So you could link better, and in modern time, it's more easy to make people understand because sometimes not everyone is ready for spiritual talks because
yeah
it's for example you understood samskaras because you are in this track and you have been taking these interviews from many great people and you understood, but still in the modern time people don't understand such kind of words.
yeah
So biology knowledge helped me to uh, give these practices a more easy way, and then once the students used to understand all the practices, then we could do this. We were doing like more deeper spiritual talks, that now it's not about the physical body, it's about different bodies, which yoga talk about, the five different bodies. So it helped a lot, of course, and still helping me. I still take my previous books and take reference from there to understand more and more practices.
yeah I think that is why some wise man said, right, your knowledge never go in vain. So
Yeah,
some
definitely, yes.
you
Yeah,
never
that's
know
true.
when it is going to come in use, right?
True, true.
Acharya ji, so how does your personal daily yoga practice looks like today? You know?
Yeah, it is my practice is with a strong discipline because I was 1 year in Bihar School of Yoga. I don't know if you heard or not. Bihar
Yeah.
School of Yoga is a first yoga university in India, which is opened by Swami Satyanand Saraswati, and his guru was Swami Shivananda from Rishikesh. So I was there because from Shivananda Ashram I went. After my graduation, I went there for 1 year study. I was supposed to take a sannyas course. I went there because I was completely into it. So I wanted to just take a sannyas course, and which I was doing there to stay there. And so from there, I had because I'm a very disciplined person from the early age. So I used to wake up early morning, 3 o'clock, because the first class used to be 5 o'clock there in ashram. Then you have to,
Okay.
before that, you have to clean the room, you have to clean the bathroom, and then there are so many, people used to stay in one room. Like, for example, we have a small room, so 5 people used to live there. So you don't want to be late in a class. And me, such kind of person, I don't want to be late. And that is in ashram when the Swamiji is sharing some knowledge. So I used to wake up early and I used to practice uh, before I used to go for class. Some of the asana which I was doing before the joining the ashram, and that's how the discipline built from there. And I'm carrying the same discipline now. It's been more than a decade now, so it's a constant. But because I made this discipline strong, so I could continue this now. So that is my journey. Like every morning, I wake up not the 3 o'clock same, but for 3:30 to 4 between this time, and then I do my all 2 hours practice, including asana. That my first practice I do, pranayama I do, and then meditation and jap sadhana I do. So that is my morning routine. So till my daughter is waking up, I'm done. My first part is done, and then I'm ready for other responsibility.
Correct.
So till 6:30, I'm finishing my morning routine.
Right. So don't mind me asking you, you mentioned that you went to Bihar School of Yoga with Nishchay, right? To do
Yes,
to take sannyas. Uh, so you got into you married, you're married, you have a daughter. So how did that transition happen?
that happened after that because when I was in Bihar School of Yoga, so there was one Swamiji, Swami Tyagaraja, beautiful name. He used to teach us Yoga Nidra. Actually, my first teaching started with Yoga Nidra. I was very good in Yoga Nidra. So, and then he used to explain in his lectures because every evening we used to have satsang and bhajan also. So every Swami, whatever they wanted to speak, so they used to, give all the speeches. So he used to explain us that sannyas is not for everyone. Swami Satsangani is a main Swami there, who is a direct disciple of. She was a pilot. Swami Satsangani, who is a disciple of Swami Satyananda Saraswati after he left the body. So, including her and many other sannyasis, they used to give lectures. So, one Tyagaraji used to give lecture on sannyas that not everyone should move into it. Yoga is not about taking a sannyas. Yoga, there are many yogis who are in grahasthashram, in
Yeah,
living householding life and sharing beautiful, path to the world. Because that's also one of the because the main yoga also you can understand the family life. Because when you are in sannyas, you are alone. You don't need to worry about, you know. So you're out of the now. You are free. You're not, need to think of anyone else. Main yoga start when you are in the family. So if you can handle this part, so you after handling this, you can take a better sannyas. Because if you just jump from, just running to sannyas, you will not have a real experience. Real experience is like a King Janak, because the Sita father. That if you
yeah.
are in the family life and then leading the yogic life, and that's how it gave me realization that it's not my time right now to take a sannyas. Let's go back and do the fulfill the desire of my parents to have a family life and do the things, and then maybe I can share. So that's how I just came out, and then this is where I am right now with that.
Very important and very valid point, Prashantji, that you have mentioned, right? Because I visited few ashrams and met few young, youth, and what I realized is, all
Yeah.
of them, they want to, get sannyas diksha. They are not understanding, and this is so much importance, important point that everybody should know, right? It is very crucial to be in grihastha ashram and then lead the yogic life while being a grihastha. So that's very important and
Actually,
crucial.
that was a path before, in a Sanatan Dharma, that was a path starting with brahmacharya, then you go with the grihastha, then you go with the vanaprastha, then you go with to sannyas. But if you have a sannyas comes only when you have a vairagya completely. Then
Hmm.
sannyas is better. But if you don't have a vairagya, because there are many categories of vairagya, because there's different vairagis also. There are some vairagis who are sitting in the mountain but thinking about the world, or to be in some position. But
Yeah,
they also have a vairagya. They have a vairagya of material world. Maybe they don't want the same, house you want. Maybe they want just hut, but they also want hut. Not the
yeah,
luxury life, but they want like some sannyasis around them. So this is also one types of vairagya, but the complete. In yoga, we say Vashikara Sangya Vairagyam. And when you have this complete vairagya, when you understood the life, and then you are ready for sannyas because now you are entered to different life, not running from one to another life. So we are moving from now. It's a grihastha ashram. Then I have this, the continuation of grihastha to vanaprastha, then sannyas. I'll be doing this, but this journey, I think for me, that's how I started now.
Yeah. So important message for the young listeners out there, don't run away. Whereas experience, embrace what you got, and then,
Yeah,
slowly turn towards
of course.
Vairagya from one ashram to another ashram, as Acharya ji just mentioned.
Yeah,
Uh, Acharya ji, is there any, like, before I ask you the next question, I remember you said you were very good in yoga nidra. And I think most of us, like,
yeah,
who
yeah.
are into, who are just getting into yoga practice, we tend to enjoy the yoga nidra. Like, so what does that mean? What is the benefit of getting into yoga nidra?
So to understand the Yoga Nidra, of course, I always tell this in each class I teach that before we understand the technique of any practice, we must understand the meaning of the word, why it's called Yoga Nidra. So the simple translation is when we say yoga, which is unity, but here it's about the awareness. Yoga means awareness. So Nidra is a sleep. So sleep with awareness. Right now we sleep unconsciously. We just shut the door and we don't know what is happening around us, right? But in Yoga Nidra, it's a practice when you still have a sense which can give you experience from the outer world. Means you will not be fully awake in the outer world, but you can have a sense what is happening. And the next morning when you'll wake up, you will still will remember that what has happened around you. But you are not awake there. But your senses are still active because usually senses they never, sleep. They never sleep. They're still active. But because they are not very sharp, so you don't remember everything what happening outside. But every person, little bit they remember what happened at night. That's why
Mm-hmm.
sometime when you next morning you wake up, you say sometimes, oh, yesterday I a little bit felt cold, or I felt a little warm, or I felt some sound was there. But you are not aware, you're not awake. But you
Yeah.
still felt, but you are not fully there, But in yoga nidra is about the conscious sleep. Means you're sleeping, but your senses are receiving information from outside, but you will not be awake. So this
Mm-hmm.
is a practice. It's a higher practice for yogis to not to be completely unconscious. So that's why yogis they are fully aware. They are all at present moment. When we talk about in yoga right now, if a new yoga practitioner when they talk about okay yoga means stay at present, they mostly talk about until your eyes are open, stay at present. But you stay at present when even when the eyes are closed. So your senses are that much, uh, uh, open and that much, free that can receive the information even when you are sleeping. And that's how the practice is designed. Because the practice designed based on the experiment. Because what I was studying, because in Bihar School of Yoga, they designed this practice. Swami Satyananda Saraswati, and it was an experiment with one of the disciple who is now the main leader of Bihar School of Yoga, Swami Niranjana and Saraswati. Can even hear many of his videos, amazing videos.
Yeah.
And he got all the information, knowledge. He never been to school. All the information, all the knowledge, 13 more than 13 languages he knows, and many Upanishads, many all the scriptures just by Yoga Nidra. And that experiment was on him by his guru, because every night his guru used to come and he used to sleep, and that's how he used to just study all the scripture in front of the babe. The kid is lying, and then the Swamiji used to just study, and next morning he used to repeat he used to tell him just to read, you know no need to think, no need to remember, just read. And that's how you remember everything. So the technique is about that when you are sleeping, you become that much aware that you are fully aware about all the experiences when you get what you get from at night. So that is a practice. So it's a high practice of mind evolution.
Yeah. And it happens over the period of years, right?
Oh, of course,
Years
yeah, it's
of
not just
discipline.
because yeah, usually now yoga nidra is about sleeping. People link it with a good sleep. Someone is suffering from sleep, you do yoga nidra. It's not like
Yeah.
that because now
Right.
yoga has become therapy.
Yeah.
Yoga is not a therapy. It's a path of moksha. It's a path of kaivalya. It's not a therapy. Yes, it can be therapy, but therapy of from the birth and cycle, therapy from that, but not a physical therapy, not a mental therapy. These therapies are the additional complementary benefits you get. For example, when you go to ashram, you get many, many food. And there's a complimentary food. Okay, let's take a raita, let's take a, sweet additional. It's not a main food. So the benefits which we get today, like good mind, good body, calm mind, anger is not there, more peace. It's all basic benefits. It's not a main objective of yoga. The main objective is to develop the vairagya so that you can lead the spiritual life better.
Sure. You want to grab water or
Yeah,
you're
just a little
good?
bit
We can
maybe.
continue. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Acharya ji, what I understand so far from our conversation is that you have always led a disciplined life, but many of us, struggle to get disciplined, right? And I think it also has to do with one of your talks, recent talks, where you mentioned, right, if our internal energy is not aligned with universal energy, that is when we tend to receive such hurdles, or we are not disciplined or something like that. Sorry if I'm not putting it in right way. I would request you to shed some
True.
light on it and how we can embrace discipline in our life and lead a successful life ahead.
Yeah. So see, there is a to make a discipline, one must follow person first who is already leading this life. That's why it's a need of guru is important. Need a person because sometimes alone you cannot make yourself disciplined because we don't live in such environment which was before. You know, and now the environment in which we live, it's the fast-paced life. You want to get everything fast, and if you don't get it, you become a little bit, upset or lost, and then people don't continue this path because they don't experience anything in it. So that's the main reason. So right now, today's time, discipline is not possible alone if you try to achieve. So you must
Okay.
have someone who help you. That's why a good need of guru today is more important because today we need that discipline to be built. That's the first thing. Second thing, as you said that you saw one of my posts about that uh, because how if the energy is not linked, that also can make a huge difference. That is also true because if all of our actions, because in pranayama right now I'm doing my the thesis in pranayama, I'm doing my PhD in yoga. So pranayama is my subject. So what scripture says that, uh, and not only scripture, but my own experience also with my practice, that your this is a mass of energy. Your body is just manifestation, this physical form which you see. It's all about the energy hiddenly. So, and we are the same part of the source of this energy, whatever in universe, Brahmandi Urja. So one is called samasti. In Sanskrit, we say samasti prana and vyasti prana. Means one is your individual prana, one is the universal prana, and we are all part of it. And if we go out of the link, then everything changes. So to understand that, we can understand at physical level. Let's say, you know, how the life should begin. It should begin with sunlight. Sun is there, your life should begin. And that's how all the creatures, they wake up early in the morning before sunrise. But
Yeah.
how the humans are waking up, we are whole night awake, parties and everything, and next whole morning we are sleeping. And that's how the digestion problem, sleeping problem, you can see the result just now. See the practical world. So even in your corporate world, when the people go out of the track, so sun and moon, if we follow, our life will be easier. So that is the basic example. And now the deep example is that the energy of sun, energy of moon, you also have in your body. And most of your actions, whether it is mental and physical, it influenced by these two energies. So if you know how to, manage your energy, your actions based on the energy which is dominant right now in your body, so you
Hmm.
can link your actions to this energy, and then the achievements are faster. For example, to make a discipline, you need to be a fiery. You can't make discipline if you are low. So means when the moon energy is dominant in you, you can't make yourself disciplined. You'll be more lethargic and procrastinate and many other stuff. You
Yeah.
need to be fiery. You need to have a fire element to make a discipline. So sun energy should be dominant. And now the question is how to activate that sun. Then the teacher comes in. Means teacher will tell you what to do. First, he will make you, every day front of him to do some kriyas, whether it is asana, pranayam doesn't matter, or just making you sit front of him, like,
Mm.
without teaching anything. So that is the first need of every practitioner, a new practitioner, or the person to find a teacher. Now, I'm not talking about the guru because today's time it's difficult to find a guru, real guru, but at least any teacher who can make physical discipline first. I mean, through asana, you first make yourself disciplined. Every morning you wake up, you are practicing your asana practice. So for few months, at least for 6 to 7 months, first you are continue. And once you do this, you will notice that already discipline is built. And then you go further and further, and then you learn about the deeper discipline, which is energy balance. That's a different subject. It's a more
Mm-hmm.
deeper study.
Sure. If I may ask you a follow-up question on what you just said, you mentioned that it is very difficult to find a guru in this age.
Yeah,
You may find a
yeah,
teacher. So, what is the
yeah.
difference between two, Acharya ji?
See, different between the two
Teacher and guru.
means, yeah, because teacher means who teaches you something based on scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
based on what he studied from the books. But there's a lack of experience also. Guru is not teaching you from the books. For example, in school and colleges, when we go, it's not the teacher experience, it's a book experience. But they have studied all the books and they got knowledge from the books. But it's not a practical, it's not experiential knowledge. It's more
Mm-hmm.
kind of what you study, you know so guru means there's no study now, there's just experience. Guru shared his experience, how he is in the process, not what he has learned in the books. So book study finishes when the guru comes, there's no books. But before
Mm-hmm.
that you need to study books, because books teaches you how to make this path easier, because there are many books which teaches you, okay, if you can't do this, you do this. But once you understood your path, then the guru comes when the books have finished. There's no books now. Now just his presence is your book, basically, if you want to take it this way. So
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
the difference between teachers and guru. Today we are teachers. Guru means in front of this person you are just enlightened. For example, it happened with many, like for Arjun. It happens with Arjun. Arjuna when in front of Krishna. Just that's a guru. So today's time, it's difficult to find a guru, because today we have lots of studies, experiences, books, experiences in social media. You can see so many things you can learn. They're not called a guru. We are our
Mm.
teachers, and in the West we say instructor, not also teacher. Even teacher is a little bit higher. Instructor means he's not doing himself, but he can instruct you. Teacher at least can do, you know.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah.
a instructor means he just can instruct, but he's unable to do. Teacher means he also can do and he also can teach you. Guru means he lived this life. He is now beyond this. So he's
Mm.
just sharing through his presence. So these are the differences we have. That's why, for example, Acharya, the meaning of Acharya means the same. Means the one who do Acharan, means
Mm.
who follow this path called Acharya. That's why we have, Yoga Acharya, who follow the Sanskrit Acharya, who follow the Sanskrit path, who follow the yoga path. So we are Acharya, still a teacher, not a guru.
Understood.
So that's how it works.
That's your humility speaking, Prashantji. I mean, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm very happy that you made me understand or made us all understand the difference between teacher and guru. In fact,
yeah.
I wanted to definitely ask you this question: how important it is for one to have a guru in his or her life, right? And I mean, on this yogic path, and can one walk this journey alone, or you already mentioned that what acharya does or a guru does, so is it also crucial, like once uh, that disciple has learned everything from his acharya, is it also important for that person to have a guru in his or her life, acharya ji?
See, Guru will leave you once he will find that there's no need of him. For example, Swami Satyananda Saraswati, his guru Swami Sivananda understood that he doesn't need me now. He have built his own path. He have built his foundation. Now he will not go anywhere. So Guru understand that how much you grown up in this path, and then just he will leave you. And when he will leave you, you will not even notice that he left, because for you he will be always with you. There's no physical presence. So until you are not fully disciplined, until you are not in your track, until these the mental barriers are not broken, you need a guru. So, and once it is broken, guru will just disappear. He will not leave even. This word even, I shouldn't
Hmm.
say. He just will disappear. Or he will just say that he will just send you somewhere by saying you do this, 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 and that's it. And that will be your final teaching. But he said, okay, for example, Swami Satyananda Saraswati, his guru said, you just go to in this direction and share the yoga to the world. Neither he said come back, and nor he, Swami Satyananda, came back, because he didn't say to come back. He just said go there and share the knowledge. So he, until his life, he was just sharing this. There was no need of coming back, because he never felt that he is separated. So a person, when he continues, first of all, today's time, everyone should have someone in a spiritual path, especially a guru. And later, once you are in the path, you will, the guru will take you, and then it will automatically will continue.
Sure. Now I'm asking you a basic question, right? If somebody wants to start today with yogic practice, and I understand that yoga will lead you to the spiritual practice or to your spiritual journey as well. So if somebody has to start today, what is it? What is their first lesson, or how do they begin their path?
In the yogic path, you're asking,
Yeah,
or spiritual path?
both. Like, how do they begin their yogic and spiritual journey? What is the first step that somebody should take, who's starting today?
See, there are many yogic practices. It depends in which practice you are inclined to. Because there are many yoga, there are hatyoga, there are many yoga, other yogas form. So it depends that which practice is more connected. If you are a devotional person, so bhakti yoga is your path. You should begin with that, because yoga is a process. Yoga is not, it is not a spiritual path itself. It's just a process which can build your spiritual path stronger. You know, yoga, we say it's still a practice. Until something is in a practice, it cannot be fully a spiritual world. It is still a process, but that can make you disciplined strongly. So yoga is one of them. So there are many yogas. Of one who wants to begin with, I think first he need to understand who is he. He is more
Hmm.
devotional, or he is a lazy. If someone is a lazy, he should begin with hatha yoga. Someone
Hmm.
who is introverted, he should begin with the Raja Yoga, or Gyan Yoga, means reading the scriptures, because not every person is physically active. So he shouldn't do Hatha Yoga. But physically active means, I'm not talking about he's lazy. Then he should do. Physically active means he's unable, physical issues are there. Then Hatha Yoga is not for him. Other yoga, Karma Yoga is there. So first we need to understand this person need what. If someone is suffering from physical and that is disturbing his life, then he should begin Hatha Yoga, which is starting with purification, and then starting with discipline, then starting with other, practices. So that is the first step. And of course, it should start with someone who is expert in it. As I said, teacher is needed. And then if he finds his, connection with the practice, and then he just should continue until the teacher will not leave him. But today, what happens is that we think that yoga is asana practice. We do some 1 hour, 1 month practice, and then we are out. We think that we can do by ourselves. You know,
Yeah.
why to every morning wake up and then do with someone? And that's the problem. You can't make a discipline 1 month or 21 days. It doesn't work like this. You are not that sattvic. If you are a sattvic and you have a ekagra chitta, a focused mind, then maybe you are able to make a discipline in 21 days. But we are not. So we need months and months and years. So that's how it should begin, and then begin with a basic practice, which is Hatha Yoga. That's why Hatha Yoga is a basic start that for most of the people should begin with.
Okay. Okay. So, do you also want to take a moment to explain what sattvic life is? You said that we are not sattvic. What does that mean?
Yeah. See, sattvic means when we have, according to the Sankhya Yoga, means before yoga philosophy, there was a Sankhya, right? Sankhya philosophy, because yoga is a process. Sankhya is a philosophy. So
Mm-hmm.
yoga is more about practical. Sankhya is more about siddhant. How the yoga should be, Sankhya is teaching us.
Okay.
So first of all, the person who is studying yoga, I would say he should study Sankhya first, because then only he can understand what is in the yogic path. Both are together. So according to Sankhya, there's a nature. He is explaining about the nature, how the prakriti works, and how many gunas, how many, how it behaves, how its origin, how it ends. Everything is there about the nature, about the prakriti, universe, planet, and everything. Your universe, your behavior, everything. So that human behavior depends on three main dharma, main gunas or qualities. One is called sattva qualities, one is called tamas, and one is rajas.
Yeah.
Tamas means when the dull mind, mentally you are all the time demotivated. These days, for example, people are depressed,
Yeah.
insomnia. All these are tamas qualities. Means your whole body, including mind and physical body, you are into tamas, into change it, replace it with sattva qualities. So sattva means when you are fully positive. Not positive means you are thinking positive. Positive means you are ekagra. Means you know your path, you know your goal. Positive does not mean that you are thinking good and you are all the time speaking good, and inside you are suffering
Hmm.
on your own. Sattva means when your life is into discipline, automatically it's linked with the nature. Sun is coming, your eyes are open. These
Hmm.
days, we need to take a cup of coffee or tea to wake up. But during the day, we are speaking very politely. That is not called sattva. Sattva means when your whole body, when your routine is automatically linked with the nature. You don't need to do any extra efforts. The moon came, 6 o'clock, sun is gone. You started feeling sleepy. Means that now the nature and you become one. That's called sattva quality. So first you need to make a discipline with that. And then the mind will be start behaving how it should be in a spiritual path. So Sankhya philosophy teaches us how to be in sattva, means what to do. Now you need to do, many options are there. For example, one of the options is do satsang. Listen to
Hmm.
Guru. These days, so many, you can see in the social media, it's a good, we live in a such era that we can have access of many Guru without even being present to them. And so this is what we need to do first. Second, today's time, according to the scriptures, jap sadhana, hat sadhana, or bhakti sadhana is on the top. Means
Yeah.
jap yog is the fastest way of making a discipline and to clean your karmic accounts. Jap yog. So do the mantra japa. That will make you more sattvic and ekagra. So these things we need to, involve and take it into our life. Then the person can be more sattvic. Slowly it may take time. Depend how much he is, surrounded by the sattvic people. Means those who live this life, but it's not possible for many of people. For example, especially you are in corporate, what corporate people think, how to raise the salary, how to complete the task, how to run from this. It's all about
Yeah.
this, right?
And
So they,
competing.
yeah, competition,
Competition.
like how to be better than, you know
Yeah.
so how to become HR. So this zone is a little bit difficult actually, and that's why such people, those who are in the corporate life, they must join these kind of seminars and workshops and continuously. I have right now actually, we every month we have a regular
Mm-hmm.
online classes. Many people are from corporate, they every day join us, and I see
Wow.
that how different, they, because we have been doing this from last 2 years, we saw the transformation. So that's how you can become a sattvic, and then the yogic path and spiritual path will be easier.
Wow. So be disciplined, follow the nature cycle, align yourself
Yeah,
with
very
nature.
important.
Very
Very
align.
important. That's the
Yeah.
first thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You just mentioned that for the past 2 years, you're seeing the transformation in your students, especially who are joining from the corporate world. I'm sure you have taught many students around the world. I know that there are a lot of global, people who are also joining you. So have you, observed any interesting cultural differences in the way people relate to yoga?
Like in which way, if you can specifically?
Like for example, like so we Indians approach certain things in a a particular way. So you have addressed like a global audience, right? So do you see a
Yeah,
difference in terms of their approach towards yoga? How do they find it? They find it very
yeah, of
easy
course,
to?
of course. Actually, there's a two side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Foreign people, those who are not Indians, they once they understood and they are devoted, they are very disciplined,
Yeah.
you know. And in Indian approach is different because in Indian approach we have because we think that it's belongs to us, we will do
That's,
later, you know.
yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the Indian mindset. एक शब्द आता है घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर
Right.
because it's your own. For example, I live in Rishikesh. We are, you know, we live near the river. My house is near the river. Born there. So, but those who live near the river, they never go to take baths. For them, it's just near front of. We will go, anytime. But people come from around the world and devotionally, and they are dipping into the
Yeah.
river and cleaning their sin. But for us, it's like, oh, what is new in this? So same thing happens with their approach because they, when they come, they are very disciplined. They
Mm-hmm.
listen. But but some of them, of course, they don't sometimes believe in the philosophy what we say because their philosophy is different. Our philosophy is different. Our philosophy, and especially in the yoga, we have believe or not. I didn't come across with so many people like that, but still, some of them
Yeah.
we came across that when for them yoga became a religious stuff. For example, why we are chanting Om, you know. So for many people, it's like a religious Hindu mantra, which is not
Mm-hmm.
a mantra. Mantra is other things. Om Triambakam, Om Bhurbhuva, such kind of mantra. Om is not a mantra; it's a seed, root sound,
Yeah.
which is the origin of all the mantras. So it's just a vibration. But for them, it's a lack of knowledge. For them, it's religious stuff. So they don't take some part of yoga, but they take more physical part. Let's say if I'm explaining that yoga can cleaning the sin, pranayama, they may not believe in how it's possible because they don't believe in karmic account. They don't believe in previous karma. They don't believe in such thing that it can be this way. Energy body, but they do believe in physical body. So for them, Kapalbhati to do, it's easier. But when I explain how Kapalbhati can, cleanse your body energetically, they may not believe in it. Some of them they are like this. So
Mm-hmm.
we are, addressing so many students, different part of the world who some of them they are devoted because they before coming to yoga or before joining us they have already studied about the Sanatan Dharma now the yoga about previous studies they have and again the prarabdha they have. So they have that devotion that whatever he
Yeah.
is saying, I believe. But some those who are new, for them it takes time. But because they see the difference, they see the changes, positive, they start believing in it. And with our own Bharatiya people, for them it takes time. We need to. I couldn't wake up because for them we take for granted. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is normal. It is normal, but that's how actually even the if you see the yoga was in boom in India after once it went to the
US.
east,
Yeah.
in west. Then only India has become popular. Okay, now I need to do also yoga.
Mm-hmm.
So it always like this, but that is not a issue. If as long as you are in the track, even if you're coming and going, at least you have that little trace of this thought that you have to come. So it's a good also.
Right. Now that we're talking about your students, is there any particular teaching moment or a particular incident with a student, that really stayed with you or impacted you as a teacher?
See, for students, everything is special. Every class is special because for me, it's first of all, I don't have any expectations from the students because there's no student and teacher relation for me. I never take it as a student teacher relation. I take it as dharma. I have to come to this path. I have to come to this particular time. I need to share what is required for this particular group. And I just share and go. After that, I don't really think about. I need to give this person something. It's a
Mm,
process. So for me, there's no teacher and student relation. I don't take as a relation. I don't consider myself as a teacher, then themselves as a student. For me, just a dharma that I have chosen for this. I have chosen this path, and until I am this in this body, I have to just share what I think that it can help them. That's it. So every day is a special because every day when it comes, it's a new day because there's a new challenges and new learnings, and for me also it's a learning because when I teach, it's not something because now it's not about the books because before it used to be, but now the experience is such that you don't follow the books and anything. Now it is just directly coming. It's a flowing. So every day is a special. But some experience with the student, specific, I cannot say because every day is special for me. So there's
Yeah.
nothing that I can say.
Every day is special and every person is unique as well. So every person
Yes,
is special. Yeah,
of course, that's true.
great, great. So I think you just now you mentioned about pranayam destroying one's sins, right? This is
Yeah,
something that really caught my attention when I saw this reel of yours, right? So what is the
yeah,
role of breath and how? What do you mean by this statement? How pranayam can help someone
yeah.
burn their
It's a
sins?
deep subject. It's a deep subject. See, when we talk about the pranayam, in a scriptural way and in the proper way, pranayam is not about the breathing exercise. It's not about the breath. Breath is separate and prana is separate. Prana is the essence of life, which takes you from previous life to this life. For example, your soul, we believe the soul is traveling from one life to other life, right?
Yeah,
If you and how it is traveling, what is the medium of travel? The energy is a medium of travel, because without energy there's no travel of soul, because वो तो चेतन है, it's a chetan. It doesn't have its own movement only prana gives. Energy gives the movement. So prana is that essence, that force which pushes the soul from one body to other. But if we take the breath as a prana, so there's no breath. When the person dies, breath finished.
yeah.
But prana never ends. That's why, some people, they subtle body. They say subtle body. For example, some people say, I saw the ghost. Oh, heck yeah.
Mm,
What is this? It's a pranic body, which is not cleansed, but in different form now. It's appearing to you. So basically, the prana is the energy of the universe, which is pushing a one soul with a karmic account to the different body to complete this karmic account. Okay. And then because of this karmic account, you get the breath, which is connected to prana. Because you get what we believe in, that you will live how much breathing you have.
yeah,
That's why the
yeah.
science also believe that, okay, humans, you should breathe in 1 minute, that much time. And if less the breathing in the number is, less your life will be. So the dog, fast breathing, less breath number, so less life. Tortoise, they are more longer breathing. And based on this, the asanas are also actually given to us. We have a turtle
Mm,
pose, we have a crocodile pose, we have all the poses which can make your breath longer. So life can be longer. Means life means this body life can be longer with the physical body life, not the subtle body life. So
mm,
breathing is a different. Breathing is just required for this body to run.
yeah.
But the prana is required for your soul to run, soul to complete the cycle of this karmic account. So first of all, we need to understand that prana and breathing is different. So when we say in a yoga pranayam, we are not talking about the breathing kind of control, which is most of the text talks about. And that's why it's very important to, what I said, you have to know the siddhant before you begin the practice. So both, recently I am mentioning also that shastra and shastra should go together. Shastra,
Mm,
not alone you have to learn the technique. Shastra means why this technique, first of all. Until when I should do this technique. When to stop, when to hold, when to slow down the pace, when to make it intense. Who will tell you this? Shastra. So Shastra will give you Siddhant, means the process, and the teaching, the techniques will teach you, okay, how much? Okay, that much is enough. But these days it's
mm,
not, because we are more focused on techniques. That's why people are keep doing. Someone is keep doing
yeah.
Kapalbhati for 100 times, and then he after that, one of the teacher whom I was studying one of the times in scriptures, he is a very great yogi in Rishikesh, amazing, enlightened being, a great knowledge of scripture. He's a Sanskrit scholar. So pranayama yoga, he studied deeply. So he one student came to him when we were studying. One student came and he asked middle of the study, because we used to study brahmachari free. In Rishikesh, I study all the scriptures free, because that's how they pass the knowledge. So he came and then he asked Guruji, one of the student, because he came before also. But now he came, he was very skinny and very dull, low energy, and the skin is yellow. Swamiji asked, what happened to you? He says, Swamiji, I was doing pranayama, and since I'm doing pranayama, I disturb. This is what happened with my. Then he checked him. He understood that he did wrong pranayama, because prana means energy. It can destroy you also, right? Because energy can
Mm,
destroy you. Electricity can give you
yeah.
light, but also can give you the death. Depends how much force, because if the force is strong, it will destroy. Same thing, he did that much Kapalbhati, now his whole function is disturbed. Digestion became weak. He couldn't go to, he got constipation for many years. And then Swamiji taught him, okay, now start doing the basic technique of pranayam. He gave some technique, and don't come before 3 months. Then, oh, it's not
Mm.
happening, it's happening, you come. And then after a few months when he came, he was completely fine. So, it's a different. Prana and breathing is a different. Prana means, which is, it's its essence, it's the essence of life. And you cannot also consider as a oxygen
Mm.
related to breath only. But yes, breath is a medium for prana. For example, on the other hand, you can understand this way. Like, for example, you have a bike, you are riding the bike. So you are the rider. So rider is a breath, and bike, which is going with your control, that is your prana. So breath work, when we do, it is the way to channelize the prana in a certain direction. But doesn't mean that only breath is a medium for that, right? For example, if you have a bike, doesn't mean you only can ride the bike.
Yeah.
Your husband can be, your friends can be. Similarly, not only breathing can give you pranayam efforts. Meditation is the best way to do pranayam. That's why meditation was before expansion of prana. More you meditate, expansion of prana happens, because the meaning of pranayam is expansion of prana, liberation of prana. These are the explanation, not control of the prana. And breath, when we talk about breathing, it is still limited. So when I'm saying that pranayam can clean the sin, I'm talking about that prana which I just explained. That the
Yeah.
essence that can clean the sin. How it can clean the sin? Because our birth depends on the previous karma. Okay, Bhagavad Gita explained this very deeply. Even the Ashtavakra Gita explained it in many ways. Many scriptures, even Yoga Sutra also believe the same. Like, this is the karmic birth which we have. That's why it's called Karma Bhumi also in India. It's a
Yeah.
Karma Bhumi, means where you do karma and where you get results. It's a Karma Bhumi, and it's not a Bhog Bhumi. There are Bhog Bhumi means after karma the results you get. Bhog Bhumi is what Indras and other devatas are. This is Bhog
Mm.
Bhumi. That's why they are deities, all the gods. But they also have a time limit actually. There's not only one Indra. Indra also dies, and then other Indra becomes Indra. So that
Mm.
is called Bhog Bhoni. Bhog Bhoni means when you are just Bhogi, means whatever you did, you just receiving, you know. So it's the same like when someone is marrying, जो दूल्हा होता है वो भोगी होता है उस समय. He, for him, everyone do everything for him. He is like a
Yeah.
king. But
Yeah.
after marriage, then सब काम उसको ही करना पड़ता है. Then karma bhumi. He comes to karma yoga. So this life is a karma bhumi. Here you, whatever you are receiving based on the previous karma, and you have to do karma. Without karma, you cannot be. So now this life you got this life based on previous karma, which you did. Collectively, they are giving you results. So whatever happens right now or happening, we met because of the previous karma.
Yeah.
You are living your corporate life because of the previous karma. You don't have any command. This karma, you didn't do anything, something that you can, it nothing happened. This life you didn't get guru. This life you didn't get any touch of ashrams. But still sudden thought came that I need to move from this life to other. It's just a previous. So sometimes some decision comes quickly, it means your previous karma is leading to this. And now the previous karma depends on how much karma is collective. It's not that one karma give you one result. Now it's a big story, about big theory. I will not go to this. But the
Yeah.
previous karma collectively comes in a place, and now it makes a situation and gives you again the opportunity to choose to do karma. And that's how the life is continuing, the karmic life. Means the previous karma is coming, it made the situation, okay, you are sick now. It's because of previous, because last night I ate wrong food. The
Mm.
previous karma now put the situation, your stomach is wrong. And now it's up to you. You're still eating. Animals, they don't eat. See? But
Yeah.
humans, oh, even the doctor say, if you want need medicine, you need to eat.
Yeah.
You are eating, but you shouldn't eat right now, but you have to eat. But how you will eat, your digestion is weak. You should just
Right.
take upava. That's why Ayurveda life is best and better. When you have certain imbalances, don't eat upavas, and then
Yeah.
automatically it will become better. So now the previous karma, some karmas are very strong. It will give you results. Some karmas are very light, will not give you result. So pranayam practitioner can burn those karma which are very light, and also can burn those karma which are strong, so that you will face the results, but limited, not very intense. Sometimes even the astrology, what people say, oh, आपका शनि भारी है. or Shani
Hmm.
kharab ho gaya. So what they do, they give you certain mantra. How the mantra works, mantra destroy the intensity of that,
Yeah.
the disturbance which is happening. It will not replace it, but the
Yeah.
intensity is less now. Means you got power to tolerate.
Yeah.
So the pranayama practitioner, what he does it, some of the small karma which supposed to give you a result, it destroy by regular practicing of pranayama. So जैसे एक बीज होता है, means the seed which has a potential to give a fruit. If you put under the ground, it has a potential. Every seed had potential, right? If you give the good environment. So every karma has its potential. But imagine before you grow the seed, you fried it above
Hmm.
the fire. Now the
Hmm.
seed is still there, but seed lost its potential. Now,
Correct.
how much good environment you will give, the seed will not be fruitful. Similarly, some karma through the agni, the fire of prana, is burned. So prana, it will come back, but it will not give you fruit. It means you will have a situation, but you will just pass this. You will not even
Yeah.
notice. That's why sometimes some people oh, I had a very hard time, but I just somehow, slept
Managed
very
it.
quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how the pranayama works. And there's many deeper theory about it. It's a long subject, but that's a basic introduction that how pranayama works. But when I'm saying pranayama, I'm not talking about to do kapalbhati with that. Because when
Got
I'm
it.
talking about cleaning the sin, I'm talking about the certain level of pranayama, which can
Mm-hmm.
clean that deeper rooted, karmic account. For that, you should have that strong concentration. You should have a mastery over your breath. Means then, if you talk about the physical level, means at least you should be able to do holding breath for a certain period of time, and you should be able to manage your mind concentrated at one point for longer period of time. It's a different pranayama practice. So
Yeah.
that's how it cleans the sin, and that's how it works.
Acharya, I mean, with folded hands, I'm saying thank you to you because this is so much deeper knowledge that you shared, right? And I'm glad that I actually got emotional with some of the, you know, information that you shared right now. And I am really grateful that, we are doing this. We are doing this for the larger audiences too.
Yeah,
With
thank you.
this, with this, I'm coming to one last segment, right? And which is, I think it is one of your favorite topic, which is Kundalini Yoga, right? I've been seeing you talking about Kundalini Shakti.
Yeah,
So maybe briefly, if you can touch base on this topic, what Kundalini is and how does it work? And is there any precaution, right? What I could understand so far from our conversation, it is important that one should have a good acharya, a good guru in his or her
yeah,
life to reap the benefit of, let's say, yoga or spiritual journey that one is taking. But now, can you like briefly touch upon the Kundalini Yoga if you can?
yeah. So this is the subject which is it's another yoga. As I said before, also there are many paths of
Yeah,
knowing the self. So Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Kriya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, many. Even Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters means every chapter is a yoga actually. Even the first chapter, Arjun Visad Yoga, means Krishna is saying when Arjuna is crying, it's also itself in the yoga. Because to release the emotions and to know the self that I am dumb. Because Arjuna, because that's also, yoga means realization. So actually the
hmm.
first chapter is about his realization that I am, lost. So the Kundalini Yoga is one of the highest path of self-realization, but it has a pranayama path. It's a higher practice of pranayama because the name of Kundalini, Kundal means like we wear, isn't it? The ring. It's called Kundal.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
word
yeah.
came from there, Kundali. Kundali means it's when Kundal means the single. Kundalini means if it is, repeating again and again. It's like a whirlpool. You have
Mm-hmm.
that. So that is called Kundalini. It's the same, like how the snakes sit. If you see the snake, it has a
Yeah,
certain layers. Top of each of the he sits, and then top of this he sits, and then even the when this Hanuman went to
yeah,
Lanka, he
yeah.
sat on this. This is called Kundali. Kundali means the flow of energy, which is in a spiral way, but right now it is in a dormant state which is not activated yet because you have a huge amount of energy. Every human being is even the animals also have a kundalini shakti which is in dormant, but because animal life starts from lower seven chakras to mooladhar, our life starts from mooladhar to up. That's why we have the highest chakra is the Sahasrara. The name of the highest chakra of human evolution is Sahasrara. We can go only till here. That's why
Mhm.
yogis, when they die, when they leave the body, their prana left the last chakra, which is top.
Yeah.
And that's based on this. We had a ritual in Sanatan Dharma. I don't know if you know or not. If someone dies in Hindu culture, the ritual used to be a person, maybe close to this person who died. Especially, it used to be his son. When the person is, they are burning the body. The son used to come and to break the head. वो डंडा मारता था सर पे. That used
Yeah.
to be a ritual of Antim Samskar. So that ritual was performed based on the yogic ritual. Because at the end, because still when the person dies, the whole prana doesn't leave the body. Still there the prana is left inside which didn't leave. And that prana will carry the karmic account to the next birth. That's why in India we have a ritual that we don't burn the body quickly. We left the
Mhm.
body. When that's why it became now the different part that every relative should see the body, but it was not for that. It was for because now still the body is still alive. Means energetically it's still alive. That's why the nails are growing, hair is growing, because the prana is there. So that is called the categories of prana. So we have a Dhananjay Pran. It's a name of Dhananjay. Means the prana which didn't leave the body for 14 hours. So for
Mhm.
14 hours, the person doesn't die. So we have a ritual. We had a ritual in Sanatan Dharma. When a person dies, they hit the head. So at least the prana should leave now. At least the limited prana should leave the body. That is for his next birth. At least the next birth will be better. Otherwise, the next birth will be based on the previous karma, what this person did. If he is a fully desired person, lost, the next birth will be same. Either he'll be poor or leading normal life. Many hard things happen, which happens today's time. Many people, they take a birth from the beginning. Some of the body part is not working. So it's all a
Yeah.
previous. So Kundalini yoga means to take the energy, and including this energy, including this prana, take the awareness, the consciousness to the upper chakra here, the top Sahasrara. So the process how to do this called Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yoga teaches us how to take this prana shakti, which is down to upper chakras. So the whole practice, whole teachings are around this chakra work, how to evaluate, how to activate, how to harness the chakras, how to harmonize these chakras, because every chakra holds a significance in this. Some activation of these chakras gives us some realization. For example, if you have activated and harmonized the below chakras, which is
Mhm.
Mooladhara in yoga we talk about, means you will be having mastery over your first desire senses. Means now you have a full mastery that you will not be easily affected with the physical desire. Then when you
Mhm.
come upper chakra, then you have other mastery. When you have a stomach navel chakra, other mastery. So every chakra you get certain siddhis mastery until how it will go up and up. So the main theory of Kundalini yoga is that how to activate all the chakras so prana can penetrate and it can travel through each chakra and gives you higher experiences so that you realize fully. So you realize first physically, lower chakras physical realization, middle chakras are emotional realization, and upper chakras are more spiritual realization. So it's like divided into you know two below two chakras, middle two chakras, upper two chakras. So below two chakras more physical control, swadhisthana. And so when the kundalini activation happens in these below chakras, you have physical control. So you get the ideas. So there's actually there's a movie in English, I don't know if you see or not, Lucy. Have you seen the movie Lucy? It's a very
Yeah.
famous movie. So there also, see how this girl lady, she first get the mastery over his physical senses. Means he could see, sense what is happening with her physical body, how the digestion is working, how everything. Then
Yeah.
the second level, then she started seeing other body, not only limited to her, other. Then when more, then not only other body, everything. Now there's no barrier. And then once the energy moved to upper, the brain activate fully. And now she's just disappear because it happens when body doesn't need there's no reproduction happening with your cells. Now it's a free. So that
Hmm.
is the main. From there you can understand what happens in Kundalini Yoga. When the energy reaches the top of the Sahasrara, now there's no need of this body to live because you're everywhere. That's the philosophy of this Vedanta also. Aham Brahmasmi means you yourself becomes a Brahma. because now there's no limitation. Consciousness is everywhere. But until that, you have to go in a certain process, which is Kundalini Yoga is teaching how to activate each chakras, how to be free from all the boundaries, which is, keeping you in this physical body, stuck in this physical body. Until we are in this physical body, we have pain and pleasure, dukkhas.
Hmm.
But once we start working with that, each chakra, you start becoming free with all the boundaries and barriers. So this is the path, which is basically the path of pranayama and to be free from bondages. So that is the basic introduction of Kundalini. Other practices are there also, which is more higher practice.
And you teach Kundalini Yoga too?
Not openly, but we have a certain sessions introduction, but only limited people. We teach
Okay.
Kundalini practices, the
Okay.
path, how to proceed. But we give them little, I give them a little information only, not fully, because I am
Right.
not allowed for that right now from my teacher. So that limited
Right.
practice,
Got it.
yeah.
Got it. I think this there was so much of energy exchange. There was so much of information exchange, Acharya ji. I think
Yeah.
my mind, my body is, I'm not sure if it was ready to accept so much, but with my limited knowledge or my limited brain capacity, I've tried to, understood as much as I can. And with this, we are
Yeah.
coming to the closing note of this episode. I have one final question for all our, young listeners out there. Any quick message that you would like to give to them so that they are encouraged to follow the path of yoga, follow the path of spiritual journey?
Yeah, see, first of all, there's one practice which is easier that everyone should start. That is yoga practice, of course. Because without a self-discipline, there's no, freedom in life. Because challenges comes and you
Yeah,
have to face them. You have to develop a certain, tolerance power to, to stand in front of these situations, circumstances. And yoga teaches you how to be strong in this through the discipline. And these days people are suffering so much physical challenges, so this is the time when you have to take this practice in your routine, so that it also have a strong benefit. It gives benefit physically, mentally, emotionally, and in the life, of course, it helps a lot because it gives you focus. So there are so many kriya, so many techniques in yoga which can help a person to live a healthy life and happy life, of course. So now I just can invite, people to start the journey wherever you are and whomever you believe in. Start with that and make a strong discipline so you can see the changes, because yoga is what? Yoga is a experimental, experiential, and transformational process.
yeah,
It's the experimental process. You have to experiment through physical body, mental body, then it gives you experience, and then through experience you transform. And then it's a process. It's not a practice that which ends. It's a process. Continue again the same experience again, then experiment, experience, and again transformation. So keep going this, and I think that is this is the only way that person can be happy and healthy at the same time. Because the person who is healthy is not happy always, or the person who is
yeah.
happy is not healthy. So if you need both, this is teaching you, because here you have a practice for healthy at the same time happiness. So I think
Wow.
this is the best way to start with.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible, actually, what you rightly said, right? You so that you can remain both happy and healthy because
Yeah,
everybody is in search of both happiness and how one can be healthy. So thank you
yeah.
so much, Acharya ji,
Thank you.
for sharing such insights with all of us. And
Thank you.
from bottom of my heart, I'm really grateful for this session. Thank you once
Thank you
again.
so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That was truly a conversation to sit with, wasn't it? Acharya Prashantji reminded us that yoga is not a trend or a performance. It's a way of life, a returning to truth, to presence, to the breath and the self. Whether you are just beginning your journey or have been walking the path for years, his words offer something timeless to reflect on. If this episode resonated with you, feel free to share it with someone who could use this wisdom today. Finally, please do subscribe to our channel if you haven't done yet. And until next time, be happy, make everyone around you happy, stay as close to nature as possible, and love everyone. And always remember, beyond the veil, the trail begins. We'll see you all next week in yet another inspiring episode. Until then, take care.